Hey everyone, this is First Warn Storm Team Chief Meteorologist Brad Panovich. It's my late night Florence update. Here we are just before midnight. It's about 11:45. Pretty significant shift in the track, though there were some hints about 6 hours ago of this shift in the track probably happening. And I'll show you why, because we started seeing some guidance, and it's just not one model. Let me show you. Both models actually indicate a stall and a drift to the southwest. That's pretty fairly good agreement between the two major models. Not to mention all of the track models, spaghetti plots, are very close to the same. So here was the updated track. I'll show you real quickly. I think what's missed, everyone thinks about these shifts once it gets to the coast. You know, one thing we forget is this track right here up to the coast has been very consistent, which is what makes this storm weird. So like half the forecast has been like straightforward. It's the second half as we get in this area, because as the system tracks near the coast Thursday night and early Friday, it's likely going to weaken to a Category 3, and then it's going to drift south and west and weaken. Now, immediately, I know what everybody sees. They see this track and they think it's coming right over Charlotte. It's not exactly coming over Charlotte. One thing to remember about the cone, now we think it's a dramatic shift, but remember, the track could still be anywhere inside the cone. So the storm still could be down here and up there. In fact, this looks like a major shift to us, but it was actually in the cone from the last forecast. So it's not that big of an error if you think about it. So the reason we do this cone is to show you where the possibilities are. But one thing to remember, it's going to weaken as it moves inland quickly to a tropical storm and to a tropical depression. So the wind threat hasn't increased dramatically, though it's gone up a little bit. The rain threat is what really has gone up. I'm going 4 to 8 inches now for the Charlotte area, and honestly, in the mountains and foothills, I probably could draw another little area in these upslope regions, which could be 6 to 10 inches over a 4-day period. Now, for Charlotte, just to show you the rainfall, and I know this is Sunday into Monday, you can kind of see we've got pretty consistent uptick here to right around 5 inches, which isn't horrible, but if it all falls at once, we'd have issues. Now, wind impacts. Now, these have gone up a little bit, but not appreciably. I still think the winds, in and of themselves, if we didn't have the rain, this wouldn't be that big a deal. But with heavy rain saturating the ground and 30 to 40 mile an hour winds, then you're going to have problems with trees coming down. So the wind probabilities for 40 mile an hour winds have gone up to 72% from Columbia to Charlotte to Greensboro, and even some high winds out in Rockingham in Richmond County. So updated, look at your, I'm sorry I'm blocking this. I should have shrunk this back a little bit. But you can see that the flood threat is high, so it's basically down here above weather, Brad. And down trees has increased. The tornado threat has gone up a little bit as well because we're on the right side. I think there's still some question marks, and that's the one thing I'll tell you. This isn't set in stone. There's still possible changes in this. You got to remember, tonight is Tuesday night. This isn't really going to impact us till Friday night at the earliest into Saturday and Sunday. So we're still a full 3 to 5 days out from the significant impacts, which having this much uncertainty in that time range is actually pretty normal. It just seems like we've been talking about this for 10, 15 days. If we were talking about a snowstorm 10 to 15 days out, I guarantee I wouldn't even be mentioning snowfall totals. But this one got started early, so that's why you're hearing it, and it's important to be prepared. So the good news is, if you're a procrastinator or you didn't even think about preparing, you still got almost 2.5 full days to get ready. Prepare for power outages, prepare for flash flooding and down trees. That's what I would tell you to prepare for. So kind of like, think about an ice storm or a big winter storm where you might have some power outages, you might be stuck at home for a couple days. That's the kind of impact. But if you're in a flood-prone area, make sure you're ready to leave if the creek or stream comes up and we get some flooding. Of course, I'll have an update coming up in the morning, bright and early, if I get some sleep here, maybe 6-7 hours from now. See you then.